The crystalline corridors of New Geneva Station hummed with the quiet efficiency of interspecies cooperation. Ambassador Maheen of the Zephyrian Collective glided through the diplomatic wing, her translucent blue skin shimmering under the artificial lighting. Despite her status as one of the most respected diplomats in the galaxy, worry creased her ethereal features. Her daughter, little Vera, sat in their quarters staring at nothing, or so it seemed. The child's large opalescent eyes never tracked movement, never focused on faces, never showed recognition of the world around her. Every Zephyrian physician had declared the same devastating diagnosis: complete sensory blindness, a rare genetic condition that affected 1 in 10 million of their kind. Maheen had tried everything. The best medical technology the collective could offer, experimental treatments from the Andromedan Empire, even the mystical healing crystals of Tau Ceti. Nothing worked. Vera remained trapped in her silent dark world. It was during the third shift, when the station's lights dimmed to simulate night cycles, that Adam Martinez made his rounds. The human janitor moved through the diplomatic quarters with practiced efficiency, his cleaning cart's wheels squeaking softly against the polished floors. He'd held this job for 2 years now, ever since his wife died and left him to raise his own daughter alone on Earth. The position on New Geneva paid well enough to support them both, even if it meant being separated for months at a time. Adam had noticed the Zephyrian ambassador's daughter before. The little alien girl would sit motionless for hours, and it broke his heart. He'd seen that same 1,000-yard stare in human children back on Earth. Kids who'd been through trauma, who'd retreated so far into themselves that the world couldn't reach them. Tonight was different, though. As Adam cleaned the observation lounge adjacent to the ambassador's quarters, he heard something that made him pause. Vera was making soft clicking sounds with her tongue, barely audible even in the quiet corridor. Adam frowned, setting down his mop. Those clicks had a pattern to them: short burst, long burst, pause, 3 short bursts. It reminded him of something from his childhood, when his grandfather taught him about old human navigation techniques. Curiosity overcoming protocol, Adam approached the ambassador's door. Through the transparent aluminum viewport, he could see Vera sitting on the floor, her head tilted as she continued the clicking pattern. But what caught his attention wasn't the sound, it was what happened next. Vera suddenly turned her head toward the wall where a small maintenance drone was moving. Her clicks intensified, and she crawled toward it with perfect precision, never stumbling or hesitating. Adam's breath caught. He'd seen this before, not in children, but in documentaries about Earth's oceans. The clicking pattern, the head tilting, the precise navigation, it was echolocation. The next morning, Adam did something that could cost him his job. He requested an audience with Ambassador Maheen. "Ambassador," he said, standing nervously in her opulent receiving chamber, "I think your daughter isn't blind." Maheen's expression shifted from polite confusion to barely contained anger. "Mr. Martinez, I appreciate your concern, but every medical expert in the galaxy has examined Vera. She suffers from complete sensory blindness. With respect, ma'am, I don't think they understood what they were looking at." Adam pulled out his personal data pad, showing her recordings he'd made during his shift. "Watch this. Listen to the sound she's making." The recording showed Vera navigating her room with impossible precision, clicking steadily. She avoided furniture, located toys, even seemed to see the texture of different materials by the way her clicks changed pitch and frequency. "This is echolocation," Adam explained. "On Earth, several species use it. Bats, dolphins, some blind humans who've learned the technique. But they're not really blind, Ambassador. They're seeing in a completely different way." Maheen stared at the recordings, her luminous eyes widening. "But our medical scans show no activity in her visual cortex." "Because she's not using her visual cortex," Adam said gently. "She's using something else entirely. What if Zephyrian brains have a capacity that your species hasn't discovered yet? What if Vera isn't disabled? What if she's evolved?" The implications hit Maheen like a plasma burst. If Adam was right, if Vera wasn't blind but using an entirely new sensory system, then she wasn't suffering from a disability. She was the first of a new kind of Zephyrian. Within hours, Maheen had assembled a team of xenobiologists, neurological specialists, and acoustic engineers. The tests confirmed Adam's theory. Vera's brain showed massive activity in regions that Zephyrian science had always considered vestigial, evolutionary leftovers with no apparent function. But Vera was using those regions to process sound in ways that created a three-dimensional map, more detailed than traditional sight. She could detect density variations in walls, identify materials by their acoustic properties, even sense the emotional states of other beings through minute changes in their breathing and heartbeat patterns. She can see things we can't even imagine, the lead researcher reported to Maheen. Magnetic fields, subsonic vibrations, the internal structure of objects. This isn't just evolution, it's a leap forward in Zephyrian development. Word of the discovery spread throughout the station, then across the galaxy. Vera became known as the first of the Resonance children, Zephyrians born with this new sensory gift. Medical centers began identifying others previously misdiagnosed as blind, but it was Adam who understood the true significance. As he watched Vera see the stars, through the observation deck's thick transparisteel, something that should have been impossible with echolocation alone, he realized that humanity's greatest contribution to the galaxy wasn't their technology or their courage. It was their ability to recognize potential where others saw only problems. Maheen found him there later, watching Vera map the cosmos with her impossible senses. "Thank you," the ambassador said simply. "You gave me back my daughter." Adam smiled, thinking of his own daughter back on Earth. "No, ambassador. You never lost her. Sometimes it just takes a different perspective to see what was always there." As the station turned toward the next star system, Vera clicked softly to herself, painting pictures in her mind that no traditional eyes could ever perceive. And in that moment, the universe became a little bit larger for everyone who dared to see it through her extraordinary senses. Humanity had done it again, not through superior firepower or advanced technology, but through the simple human gift of looking at the impossible and asking, "What if?"